Now we're going to talk about ShowReels in English.
I'll tell you all something is that Assumpta has been putting it off, but she has to do a casting after we finish tonight.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do this thing of the video book first. Come on.
The
first
ShowReels.
So it's the first ShowReel. Come on.
I gotta tell you this.
Saying private things.
Just as what?
Why are you saying private things to everybody?
Well,
yes.
Because
okay, but let's do the first ShowReel.
All right, let's do it. Okay, let's go. All right, come on. Come on, Betsy. Right, there we go.
Look, I'm sorry. Tina came up a little short. I'm telling you, these lowlifes think they can get away with evading a few pounds. What does Agent Buzz want with us?
Same again?
And how did I know you were going to say that?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to chat to someone today.
While bars are made for mingling, let's not forget our new selection of pale ales.
You see that person behind me?
Without looking too conspicuous, yes.
I'm going to ask her to go to a bar somewhere.
Or you can just go over there with a drink and talk to her.
Yeah, I could.
You can. You're already outmoded. Shit.
Is it all there now?
I had her scrapping the floor for the last 20.
All right. Good work.
I told her, she gets internet with us, it's her fucking problem. Oh my god, play it cool.
Have you ever seen her before?
No.
So you don't know whether she's single or not?
Gary, just go over there and say hi.
What if she's like waiting there for like her boyfriend or something?
Or girlfriend.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that.
Look, I've got a plan. Buy an extra drink from me and say it was 2 for 1 happy hour. Give her the drink, see what Cupid has to say.
Before I go, I need you to keep an eye on Army.
Keep an eye on him.
Have a quiet word with him, in fact.
I'll sort it out, Jay.
And tell the motherfucker, if he wants to get clipped, he's going the right way about it.
Right.
That's it?
That is indeed it.
Okay.
First reactions.
So first reactions, where she sounds from?
England.
England.
North of London.
Oh, north of London.
But it's hard to say.
Okay.
My ear's a little untuned. And there's a lot... Well, this is an important thing, and everybody knows this. There's a lot of influences on the accents in London. From the place itself, and also influences from outside. There's Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean influences. There's influences from India and Pakistan and Bangladesh. There are many different things influencing stuff, and then you got Birmingham and all the rest of it. So there comes a point where it becomes a literal melting pot of accents.
Okay.
But I got certain things I want to talk about here. One of the reasons that it's so useful that when we look at people's showreels is that very often it illuminates things that work, and often things that we should change if we're going to do it ourselves in the future. That's really, really important. That whenever we review something, we always take it as very much a sort of learning opportunity that everybody has, so they can go, oh yeah, I know what they're talking about. I'll try to avoid that in the future. Okay, and there's certain things that are going on in this one which I think would be very useful to go over.
See, about the accent, I wanted to say, and that's why I asked.
You're asking because you don't understand.
Exactly. And so, like me, it's going to be a lot of Spanish ears that they're not going to understand you. I think they know that you speak English, but really, they don't know. They're not going to know what you're talking about. So it just for you to know, it all depends on, for what you need really to use this showreel. If it's for London, it's fine. If it's for, English speaking people, I don't know if the Americans are going to hear you, are going to understand you or not. I think that...
Well, probably not.
Probably not. So it's just, for you to consider that, because perhaps, an English that was more kind of European would also open more doors into the, let's say, European and American world. It's just a thought, okay? It all depends on where you want to work and who you want to show that in which part of the world you would like to put your efforts to work in. Sometimes, it's interesting to try to do an accent where, your possibilities are more open.
Yeah, let's go and have a look at it, because it kind of also looks like you shot it pretty much on the same day or over the same few days.
Crystal say I did, and Crystal says, but many won't.
Yeah, Crystal's a smart cookie. You're not a good meat stick when it comes to getting stuff, but thank you. Right, so let's have a quick look as to how this
Look,
works.
I'm sorry.
Right, okay. Let's see what we've got here. 1, 2,
Look.
3. Right, okay. I've said this before. Take it from me. I've edited way too many showreels for way too many people. The sweet spot in terms of a title is 4 seconds. Mm-hmm. Okay? Give it 100 frames. 4 seconds. That's what you need. 3 is too short. 5 is way too long. 4 is good. Okay?
Agatha says people who come to these shows should get used to listening to video books. The more you know. Yeah, well... Which shows? Our shows?
Our shows. I think she's talking about our show specifically.
Video books. Yeah, well, yeah.
So, 4 seconds. That's a good policy. At the end of a show reel, video book, demo reel, whatever you want to call it, you can make it last 10, 15 seconds if it's got contact information or whatever it's going to be, because that's if somebody's interested, they really want to sort of like take it down and maybe make a note of it. The other thing I would highly recommend that you do is make sure that you change the name of the video. Your video came in as, let me tell you what it's called here, IMG underline 9018.mov. Okay? Now, that might not mean anything because we're playing it and we see your name and all the rest of it, but if somebody has this file sitting somewhere on a computer, they're going to have to open it to find out what it is.
Yes, so put the things easy, as easier as you can for people that you are communicating with. Everything it has to be like that. You have to have a little bit of empathy and say, okay, they're going to receive something, and what they're going to do with that. They're going to put it in their computer, they're going to download it, or they're going to put it in another place for someone else to see it. So, you don't have to give them more work. You are the one responsible to say, who are you? In this particular case, the file should be under your name.
No, this is a little tricky because it's called IMG underscore whatever it's called. It usually means it's come from a telephone. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is something you're going to have to work out how to rename put it in a computer, rename it, send it to your phone so it will at least retain the original name. There's an important thing for that is because if they know your name, they can at least search for the video.
Exactly.
Okay, because, look, within 5 years, everything I'm saying right now will be completely irrelevant because everything will be web-based, cloud-based. But still, we have the opportunity to send each other, tapes. And also the thing for us is we retain the tapes, and sometimes people will come looking for an actor and we'll go, right? And we'll go looking for them.
We don't remember the name, but we are not certainly going to remember is a number.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, let's get stuck back into this. Right? This is also her headshot.
I think you can do better. I think definitely, you have a wonderful hair, wonderful face, wonderful eyebrows, wonderful everything. I think that, you're minute, so it's nice, to...
Minute?
Well, small.
Small. Diminutive.
Diminutive, you say?
Diminutive. You're not a big lady.
Yeah, so...
Which is good.
So, yeah, for movies is always good. So, but you can do things that they're going to show you, I think... not that you have to be a lot of makeup, not that you have, but I think that this picture is not really something that...
Petite. Well done, Crystal. There we go.
Petite, yes, petite. Great.
Petite.
Like in
There we
French.
go. Yes, petite. Right. The other thing I have to say, and I'm going to put ourselves back up here. I remember when there was a film that came out a long time ago, and then it spawned a franchise. The film's called Fast and the Furious, and it had Paul Walker and Vin Diesel and a whole bunch of other people in it. Rob Cohen, the director, who previously directed Triple X with, I think either before or after with Vin Diesel, he said one of the things that he was looking for, and he invented this term, which was multiculti, which was people who had a completely unknowable ethnicity. And that's one of the great advantages that you've got in the current climate, Martel, is that I have no idea where you're from. You could be an Italian, you could be Spanish, you could, it's extraordinary. It's fabulous.
That's why I think that if you sharpen a little bit your accent in a more, how you would say that, an accent that everybody can understand you, it's not neutral. It's not P. It's not RP.
These are the two extremes you would want to go to are very street and very elegant. Mm-hmm. Okay, because we just saw there's that period piece that's on Netflix right now, Bridgerton, I think it's called, where the part of the delicious thing about it is the absolute kind of disregard for anything resembling historical accuracy when it comes to where people are from, as opposed to a bunch of skinny white people. It's people from absolutely everywhere, and it's pretty cool for it to be reconfigured like that. And that's the sort of thing that people are going to be really looking for. The other thing that you're dealing with right now is you really want to have something, from my point of view, where you have a really fantastic American accent.
Yes.
That's very, very important. Assumpta and I have been binge watching The Good Doctor, and the actress who plays Dr. Brown
yes.
is a wonderful actress, but she's from London, innit? And of course you got Freddie Highmore, who's also English as well. So it's one of those things that more than ever that you have a chance to actually disappear somewhere and you go, hang on a second, weren't you in Peckham last week?
Yeah, so more polished your accent is from nowhere is also good, because you can aspire of many multicultural whatever diversity bollocks. and I think
diversity bollocks. You heard it here first.
Sorry. I mean, I think that is interesting, that we try to do some more, how you say, more ancho?
Broader,
exactly.
Broader, yeah. Well, no, more than anything else, it also represents the makeup of certainly the United States and the United Kingdom.
And today, today the people had traveled more, had seen more things. They are more used to hear accents. So it's great that we can do something that everybody understands.
Yeah.
So let's
keep watching.
Keep watching.
Look, I'm sorry. Tina came up a little short. I'm telling you, these lowlives think they can get away with evading a few pounds.
Wow. I don't understand a single thing. Okay, remember that the other person is not really important, okay? The bag, the story, we don't care about that. What we want really to see is you. So...
screw them.
Yeah, you don't need that. Is see what else there is in there, because then you intercuts with other scenes. And
what does Agent Buzz want with us?
Same again.
You see, you should
know
have.
you were gonna say that.
Look at the other one. There is another bit from that.
Going further on.
Yeah, please. You see that? I don't know why you intercut it between this one and the other one. It's better just to keep going.
Shit.
There, shit.
Is it all there now?
I had a scrap on the floor for the last 20.
Right.
And that we don't need that.
Now, I'm going to tell this. I'm going to say this to everybody again. The most important person in the room when you're acting on camera is the camera. Okay? Screw everybody else. It's your relationship with that big old lens that's sitting in front of you. My advice is if you ever have to do something, you turn on a set, you're doing a short film, you're shooting a reel, whatever it might be, stand there, look into the lens. Okay? Put your shoulders towards the lens, square. And then look at the other person. Okay? But this is your position. And then I'm going to look at the person here. I'm going to look at the person there. But what I'm not going to do is this. I'm not going to do that. Because what I'm doing is I'm ignoring this person here, who's the camera, which is the most important person we have.
The spectator, yeah.
Because that's us.
Yeah, that's, yeah. You don't want to lose those.
That's...
Yes.
That's what they turn up for.
Yes, and they pay for it.
And the other thing I would suggest is when you're watching TV shows, series or a movie or whatever, just look to see where the camera and where the actor's head is in relationship to the camera. You'll usually find that they are towards the camera and looking at the person. Towards the camera, looking at the person. Why are they doing that? It's because they're giving us the maximum amount of information so we can see what they're thinking about, what they're contemplating, what they're possibly going to say, what they decide not to say. Okay? So, important, that one.
Okay, so we have...
So we got to here.
We have intercut, this problem of intercutting one scene with the other.
Yeah.
What does Agent Buzz want with us?
Same again.
Okay.
Okay, so the real problem is that what anybody wants to do is they want to see you being you, see you doing your thing, right? That's what they want to see. And the thing is, if you're cutting to another thing, then we're like, oh, okay. Now, if we're cutting it because it's...
That doesn't happen if it's not repeated. But if you repeat it, I feel cheated. Why you do that? Why you intercut between two scenes? Let me see the scene. Why she cut it there?
What are you trying to hide?
Exactly. What you want to try, what you want to hide. Perhaps you were not good there in this line. So no, do as much as you can a scene, a continuous scene, because they have to, they have to feel you. They have to have time to actually investigate you.
Yeah.
And there is no purpose about, it's not being more distracting if you go from one scene to the other. It's at the contrary. It's more distracting, and it's not, you don't enjoy it, because you're, as a spectator thinking, why did she cut it there?
I have to say hello to Josefina Barrientos Sierra, who's in Spain, and hello to Maria del Carmen Huson, who's in Argentina. Nobody could ever accuse us of not being entirely international, right? Okay, so we got this dude here, who seems to be he needs to work out what accent. See him again. He has to work out what his accent is here, because
I didn't know you were going to say that.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to chat to someone today.
Well, bye.
Right. Well, I get.
He's not a very good actor, unfortunately.
Well, he's also making his life a little bit difficult because he's trying to kind of do a goofy American accent, and he obviously isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a problem with the S's too, no?
Yeah. Well, a sibilant S.
Okay. So
we have to set the broken leg before we start worrying about taking removing the tattoo.
Yeah, don't let them time to think about these things. They have to think about you.
Yeah.
And if you put another actor, it's because he's someone that people are going to recognize it, which is nice. Or if not, he has to be a hell of an actor so that we can actually, see you more. Than the other person, even if it's we need good actors to work with us, because like that the scene raises into our expectations and really makes it us we believe it, we believe in what we are seeing.
Right. Let's.
And here, the
sorry.
problem is that we don't believe him. So that is also harming your video book, because that says that you don't have this criteria, to put someone that is not really, I don't know how you say it.
Listen, be merciless. Right? You know that attention you get when you're on stage? A lot of people who come from being, from theatre or whatever, the attention of the audience that you get, and it's the thing that you live for. The reason you want to get on stage is to have that and carry people along in the story, make them laugh and all the rest of it. That's the camera. That should be your relationship with the attention of the camera. When you're working with an actor who has made a bad choice, which I believe he did, or somebody offered him a bad choice and he took it, what you need to do is, very often the other actor is a little bit like a drowning man. And one of the most dangerous things with a drowning man is they can very easily pull you beneath the waves and drown you too. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to do your thing, step back, stay strong. Don't let somebody else's bad choices influence your good choices and decisions. Okay? And remember, we're not on stage. We're not all trying to save each other during, 2 hours of treading the boards. No. This is survival. The camera's on you. Win, win, win. This is very competitive. Okay? That's not to say when they say cut, you're not all friends. But literally, you actually have to be competing. Not with the director, but who you're competing for.
And not with the other actor. Not with the other actor. Is to make the scene relevant.
Yeah.
And to make the scene relevant, what it means is that you really have to get all your best, and the other person all his best or her best, to be able to to rise into a very interesting scene. So that's what's happening. You have like someone, and he is in a primer plano,
close up.
in a close up, and you are more distant. So it makes me think, okay, that was the lead of this thing. Wow. So that it was not very good quality. And then I think, oh yeah, that's going to be some way for them to school or something, that what they do is to they shoot these scenes for the video books for the demo reels of the people. And then I say, well, it should be done better, so all my thoughts are distraction for what it has to be, which is a scene that you are really great. If not, so it's better to see something that is shot in a telephone than to see something that that yes is in a natural decor, yes is is a scene where there is a good lighting. What I want to see is your acting. I don't care about the decor, I don't care about the lighting, I don't care about all these things. And that, unfortunately, there is very little businesses that dedicate themselves to do these sort of things, that they do it well. So you have to be very careful with the texts, that they really have to be something that, it gives you the possibility to show who you are as an actress. And that is something that you're not going to find in theater. In theater, text is something that it has to be very close to you, and I don't like also that you are a waitress. I think you can do things that they are better than that, so I think that you should try to have to earn your own material, to actually write it, or have a team with someone that actually can tell you what would be nice for you. That's what we do in our act now, which is the management of your career. We try to see which profiles they are interesting for you to do, and that is something that we can do together. But more than that, what it has to be is your criteria about what is good and what is bad, and that's what I'm worried about. Mm-hmm. Because that is what I like you to do, to give you all the power of this knowledge for you not to have these mistakes along your career, because I don't know if you pay for this or not, but better not.
Yeah, it's one of the things I wanted to say is one of the reasons that we become actors is it's basically something happened in our childhood which caused our the necessity for our imagination to escape somewhere safe, fun, different, to affect our surroundings by making people laugh, making them happier. and basically to try and live in a fantasy aspect of ourselves as far away from who we are as possible and where we are as possible. This happens very often. It's like I always say, nobody is an actor because they had a happy childhood. Unfortunately, if I can say it unfortunately, what happens to us as actors is, particularly now more than ever because of film and television, particularly television, is everybody has huge screens. You're in high definition. We are incredibly aware and accustomed to see real people speaking in screens all the time. It's one of the great failures that we're seeing with these, that everybody's putting Zoom meetings or FaceTime chats or whatever in film and television, or particularly you see it on the internet all the time. And the problem is that we're comparing something which is acting, which is false, to something which we are all fully aware of, knowing how it does and doesn't work, which is speaking on a Zoom or a FaceTime call or WhatsApp video or anything like that. So one of the things that we have to be able to do is to do the thing which is the exact opposite of the reason we became actors. And that thing is to try and learn how to play ourselves really, really well, is to understand how we speak, how we laugh, how we interact with things, and not feel judged for it. Okay, because one of the reasons that our imagination developed in this way was to escape judgment in one way or another, to be able to manipulate how we were
through other characters.
Yeah, to become more acceptable. So what you need to do is you need to become sort of the most dynamic and interesting version of yourself in various different contexts and statuses. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Because one of the things I've learned in the last 18 months working, across a screen with actors, coaching them for self-tapes and castings and auditions and all the rest of it, is that people really need to develop this connection with the camera, and more than anything, learn how to be, a normal, understandable human being between action and cut. Anyway, let's get back to this, because otherwise we're gonna get distracted. Okay, so let me just get back to where we were. To this gentleman who I want to slap.
Try to edit this one, because it's not really making you any favor.
No, not at all.
I'm going to chat to someone today.
While bars are made for mingling, let's not forget our new selection of pale ales.
You see that person behind me?
Right. This is not about your reel. This is about acting. You're speaking to him, but that's not your reason to exist in this moment. You got other stuff to do. You want to clean the bar, dry a glass, whatever. You need to have a relationship with this person who's speaking to you. What does he want from you? Whatever it might be. It's the same simple things that we learn, hopefully on the first day of acting school, which is, what am I doing? What am I trying to achieve? And what I think is very important is, what's my relationship with what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll say something I don't care. Sometimes I say something is the most important thing in history. But those are the things that we need to decide. Not everything is to be or not to be. Sometimes it's just, can you go get me some coffee? Sometimes it's that. But that itself has its own sort of complexity and choice-making process. But you need to choose. And what you're doing here is you're kind of serving him by saying your line. Okay? It does you no favors whatsoever as an actress.
Made for mingling, let's not forget our new selection of pale ales.
You see that person behind me?
Without looking too conspicuous, yes.
I'm going to ask her to go to a bar somewhere.
Or you can just go over there with a drink and talk to her.
Yeah, I could.
You can. You're already out, remember? Shit.
Is it all there now?
I had a scrap.
Huh?
Doctor. So I'm saying, she said doctor.
Doctor?
Doctor. That's what
Talk
you say.
to her.
Talk to her.
Talk to her.
Yeah.
Talk to her.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. But I have to think about it. Okay, so let's. So that
Cloth
one
the last
should be
20.
with the.
Yeah, keep them together.
Keep them together.
All right.
And too much of
Good
her.
work.
I told
Yeah.
her. She gets into
And she's not helping either, because she's playing like a bad girl.
Yes, it's like the Addams Family a little bit there.
Yeah, it's a little, Try to avoid playing those cliches. If you're playing a bad guy, the bad guy is you, just with different words and
Yes,
in a
this
different
is
outfit.
not going to help you when you play a bad guy.
It's not going to help you. No, not at all.
Ross, it's her fucking problem.
Right. I'm going to give you a quick rundown on this idea of action. It's not her, it's her problem. Right? What's your action? Is you are shifting blame, you are accusing somebody else, you're pushing somebody away, but you have to take it. You have to play it to the hill. Because if you don't play it to the hill, you end up with this kind of this thing.
It's her fucking problem.
Right? Now I'm waiting for her to say her line or do her thing.
Yes, you have that. That is bad direction, and
So what you got is you got somebody who understands about cutting and setting up a scene and shooting it. Because there's a nice cut, there's a wipe, there's all those different things. One of the things they don't teach you in film school is they don't teach you shit about acting and actors. Do you know who they bring in to teach directors about directing actors? They bring directors.
yes,
Now, that's a little bit like somebody who's trying to coach somebody in football, right? And they've never played football. So what they do is they bring another guy who's coached more people who play football, and he's never played football either. So you got this one side of the field and the other side of the field, but they've never had the experience to actually play the game. They don't understand the vocabulary. They don't understand the nuts and bolts of it. Right? They don't understand that there's probably more books written on acting every year than there's written on directing. Right? The directing is a very finite thing, and it's also intrinsically linked with taste, and it's not particularly objective. The bottom line that we have as actors is: do I believe it? Does it work?
no, but I'm not sure that it's not objective. Of course, it is objective. You know, you can say of the work of a director many things, but you know what I mean. When as an actor doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's not believable. And
the other thing is that
Here, you
all
could do
audience
better, you know?
all audience members are experts.
yeah.
Everybody out there who's watching the screen is an expert. Why? Because we live in the real world. We speak to people every day. We watch people every day. We interact with people every day, and we watch acting every single day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Anyway,
keep going because
sorry. It's
it's
it's highlighted many kind
yes,
of things.
yes, absolutely.
Oh my god, play it cool.
Have you ever seen her before?
No.
Thinner.
So you don't know whether she's single or not.
Gary, just
Sing.
go over there and say hi.
What if she's like waiting there for like her boyfriend or something?
Or girlfriend.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that.
Look, I've got a plan. Buy an extra drink from me and say it was 2 for 1 happy hour. Give her the drink, see what Cupid has to say.
Before I go, I need you to keep.
Now, look, you're very charming. You're very charming. You're very pretty. You're very charming. You've got a lightness to you, and there's a sweetness. Okay? The trouble is, and the reason why you and I never didn't say anything there is because we're watching the other dude and we're going, what the hell is he?
Absolutely.
What is he doing? He completely distracts from
everything?
from what
the
you're doing.
S's, everything.
Now, if he wants to send us his showreel, then we'll tell him what we think there as well. But the thing is, this is not doing you any favors because we are totally distracted by the dude. We're like, what the hell is going on there? What is... I don't know. But the thing is, one of the things that we've always had to do with actors, you know, not that much, is sometimes you have to save an actor from themselves. Sometimes they come in with an idea. They have got, look, I've got this genius idea. I'm going to do it Welsh, or I'm going to do it like a Peruvian llama herder. And you're like,
I don't know, right? I'm gonna put you a bandage
a bandage.
a bandage of my head because like that I'll be
Or I'm going to do it peeling an orange. Peeling an orange can work, but what you do is you get peeling orange, acting, peeling orange, acting. You have to do the two things at the same time. Then that's when it gets complicated. All right, so here we go with
An eye on Army.
Keep an eye on him.
Have a quiet word with him, in fact.
I'll sort it out, Jay.
And tell the
Also what?
motherfucker.
I'll sort it out, Jay.
Also what?
I'll sort it out, Jay.
Wow. No, impossible.
No, now we're in the Jason Statham school of diction, where he manages to say 6 words with 2 syllables.
Yeah.
The 6 words are, "Do you know what I mean?" And Jason Statham goes, "Jamein."
Yes, it's a little bit like that.
That's
you
Kevin
know.
Pollak who first noticed that, not me. Do you know what I mean? Jamein. Do you know what I mean? Jamein. Yeah. Yeah, it's like when I work with Spanish people, I'm always trying to tell them, "Do you want to?"
But here she
And
does
we always
the
say,
same
"Joanna, do you want to go? Do you want to stay? Joanna." What?
thing. Joanna.
Joanna. What were you saying?
But here she does the same thing. I mean, is
Yeah, it's kind of tough. This is a statistic which you may or may not know. In the United Kingdom, 60% of people who watch TV watch it with the subtitles on. Now, 60% of the people in the United Kingdom aren't hard of hearing. You know, that means there's something that is making it so people need to be able to. What did I just hear there?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay, keep going.
Yep.
I need you to keep an eye on Army.
Keep an eye on him.
Have a quiet word with him, in fact.
I'll sort it out, Jay.
And tell the motherfucker, if he wants to get clipped, he's going the right way about it.
All right. I prefer airing down you rather than you picking up a bottle of Jack.
Yes.
But so, right, my dear, you have to come up with something else. You have to come up with something else. It's not that you're. It's just that the material doesn't. It really doesn't work. It doesn't do you any
Doesn't work
favors.
for you. Doesn't give you any favors.
Doesn't show you in a good light. It doesn't show you
yeah.
any particular dynamic.
You have to go against type. You have to do some things that they are more sassy, more interesting, more, yeah.
And I want to say this to everybody as well. Stop giving yourself roles in your demos, your showreels, where you're playing the secondary character. Don't do that. What everybody is looking for, casting directors, producers, and more than anything else, agents, is they want you to be able to play the lead in the show, or at least one of the leads in the show. They want you to be fully comfortable with the relationship with the camera, that you're giving us stuff which isn't on the page, that's interesting to everybody, that we're just fascinated by you and what's going on between your ears. That's really what everybody is looking for. And it's not got to do with beauty, and it doesn't have to do with charisma. It doesn't have to do with any of those things. It has to do with bringing who you are, being the most interesting version of yourself, and allowing us into your head when you think and you want and you desire, and more than anything else, when you're confused and uncertain. Those are the things which are really, really important. And this is not just for you. You've just sort of illuminated it, put it underneath a magnifying glass. But these are the things which everybody's looking for. No agent wants to represent somebody who's going to play bit parts. Although we all play bit parts. I've done it, you've never done it. We've all done it every once in a while. But what they really want is somebody they can go, oh yeah, I've seen your TV show. Yeah, I love that. I preferred the first season. The 8th season, not so much. That's what everybody wants, because this is a business and they want you to make money. Because if you make money, they make money. 10% of nothing is, after all, is nothing.
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
10% of nothing is nothing.
See, that reminds us that Jason Statham is from Andalusia,
Oh,
Andalusian. Wow. Yeah, of course, Statham. The Stathams of Mijas.
Okay, so we have only 10 minutes.
All right,
go.
let's do another one quickly. Okay, so give me 1 second here.
But it's not fair, because he's going to have only 10 minutes.
Right, well,
No.
but there's interesting things here, which, let me just see if it's this one. Right, okay, so, right, so, here we go.
Come on then, and I'll gut you like a pig. Reckon you could take me on? I'd like to see you try. Yeah! Yeah! Let's get out of here. We don't have much time. Look, I really don't have time for this. Do you want my help or not? I'm quite happy to go on my way without you. But if you want to come, Hurry up.
Because I was there. I was the one that was dressing and undressing him, washing him, taking him to the toilet after he'd soiled himself, helping to turn him so he didn't choke on his own vomit, holding him at night when he was hallucinating, terrified and calling out for Mum. Not you. Okay? So just shut up and go and take the cling film off those sausage rolls.
Oh yes, the hotel will be a hive of activity when you arrive. Yes, wonderful. We look forward to seeing you then. Yes, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, hello. Welcome to Tilgate Bog Hotel. Oh, it's awfully chilly outside, isn't it? But don't worry. Here at Tilgate Bog Hotel, we have the micro-habitat for even the most discerning of tastes. Are you checking in? Let me get the bellhop to get your bags. Oh, bellhop! Oh, bellhop! I'll just see where he's got to.
She begs for mercy, begs for her life. And there's a split second to decide. To save her? Well, that's great. She can have her life back. You can give her back to her friends and family, the people who love her. But to kill her, that's very different. To remove her from this earth. To take away the one thing that most value above all else, her life. That's real power.
Left, bakers!
Is it?
Isn't it? Huh.
This is BST, so...
This is GMTV.
And I said, that's not an elephant, that's my sister. Hi again. I'm here in the America's house with Alf the tapir and the alpacas. Alf, tell us, are you excited for the reopening?
Hey, what you got there? Is that food? I'm gonna taste it.
I love tapirs.
Tapires.
Tapirs. I love it. I love tapirs. Right. Straight off the bat, right, you're a very good actress. You're very competent. Okay. That's sorry. Let me just come back over here. Very, very competent. I believe you do a lot of motion capture work and probably voiceover work as well. Okay, you need to sort of decide what you're
aiming to.
What you really want to show off. Okay, yeah. Because I see the stuff that you've got, like the monologues you're doing are very competent. I'll talk about the second one when we get to it. But the motion capture stuff is like, oh, okay, she does that. Okay, which is kind of cool. So as far as I can see, you might want to have more than one showreel. You may do have one already, but I wouldn't necessarily throw them all in at once.
I would shorten the motion capture for you as an actress a little bit.
Yeah, I would stick it at the end.
Or stick it at the end.
I would stick it at the end because it's really interesting. And the other interesting thing about motion capture is they don't ask you to do it unless A, you're capable of keeping a secret, mostly, because you're mostly doing it for video games. And there's a lot of budgets and money flying around there. And also the fact that you're a professional and you get asked to do it and you get asked to come back. It's very unusual. Very rarely will you see somebody who has their motion capture stuff. Now, you might have done it in a course. I'm not sure what your career is in the motion capture world, but you're obviously very competent at doing what you're doing. It's strange because motion capture has a great deal, it has a lot more in common with theatre than it does with acting for camera, because you're attempting to create these sort of like emblematic postures and movements and all the rest of it, knowing that there's going to be another skin that's going to be put on top of you and you're going to be animated. So that's pretty cool. I would suggest that you would maybe put your photograph to one side and not put all this information on the top of it.
Yes.
But that's just me, just because it makes
that's
it
me too.
hard to read. And also, you're very pretty.
And we want to see you.
And we want to see you. Okay, so I'm going to just go
So, be careful with the eyebrows, because we're going to see afterwards
that the eyebrows disappear.
That the eyebrows disappear. So, I think when you are doing your
you must have got bored one Sunday
headshots.
night and you went a bit far.
Yeah, yes, I think that's what's happened.
It's happened to all of us. Before you know it, you're bald on one side.
It's true. So be careful with that, because it's something that is not gonna reborn again.
Yeah.
But
and your lovely auburn hair as well.
Yeah, it's very nice. Your color.
You've got a whole Disney princess thing going on there.
Yeah, and your wonderful eyes, smile.
Right, I'm gonna jump ahead of this because we sort of know what this is.
It's a little bit too much. You see, after the I think the thing with the bat, after all the
yeah, and it's very
to cut it in the bat is good.
It's also incredibly unflattering.
Yes.
It's you can never accuse motion capture outfits of being flattering,
Hurry up.
Because I was there. I was the one that was dressing and undressing him, washing him, taking him to the toilet after he'd soiled himself.
So here I see, what I see is not very believable for me, again, this thing of the emotion, but it's for the same thing over and over. And, we've already said it, but we're going to say it again. What you want when you are saying this, because right now what I see is an actress that wants to get emotional. I don't see someone that really needs to communicate that for something. I don't see the why. I don't see why you are going to explain that. It's because you need to explain it. It's because you want exactly to feel how, it's because, because if we are remembering something, then we have to really go into something else. Why we are saying this. It's not because you want to cry, right? It seems like it. So you don't want to. People don't want to cry. People want to do things. When we are even if our voice is broken, it's because we want to communicate because of something. Because you learn something. Because something. There is a point, and here there is no point, I think.
There's another thing that I'd like to highlight here, and the reason I want to highlight is for everybody out there who's watching, who might be watching this at another moment in the future, is there's something that we very quickly picked up when we started teaching film acting, and it's something that we consistently see in people's demos and their showreels and all the rest of it, and it's something that we've come to call in Spanish as la mirada fija, which means a fixed stare. What does that mean? Well, basically, the actor is continually looking at the eyes of the person that they're speaking to, or that they're speaking with. If you're doing like a self-tape or something like that, very often you'll be looking at a point on the wardrobe or on a bookshelf. The trouble is that when we're thinking of things, we actually don't look people in the eye.
Because we have to have this space where we're remembering something and then we communicate. If not, it's...
And here's the secret, and this goes back to our friend before, is that when you're not with the other person, you're with us. Mm-hmm. And when you're with us, that makes us more interested in you because you're giving us something. So what you got here, the other thing is the framing of this. You fix it in the other one, but the framing here is you need to be about a fifth higher in the shot. This is a very common thing that I see consistently, particularly in self-tapes, is that people, and it's got to do with the way you set it up. You see, what happens is you walk up to usually the phone, you put the phone there, and okay, you're in shot. And then what you do is then you go back, and as you go back, you're lower in frame. Okay, so take the time, mess with it. The other one is fine. Okay, so let's talk about this fixed stare that we've got going on. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So let's go back to our fixed stare here. And just remember that when we stare at somebody in the eyes, if they're looking at us, it's usually because we either love them or they're pointing a weapon at us. The other time that we look at somebody in the eyes is because we're trying to see what we're saying. We're trying to see how it's affecting them. But you could simplify it and say that anything that we say, we're attempting to change the expression on the other person's face. We need to know if they're in agreement with us. That we need to know if they've got a different idea. We do that. We go, listen, I need you to stay here. We see the idea rising in their head, the rejection, right? And then we'll counter it. Okay? We're so sophisticated when it comes to this particular quartet that's going, this orchestra
it's a decodification of what you're doing is, is like 1 millimeter of the eyebrow. It's going to give you something different.
Yeah.
And we register that and we interpret it.
And we don't control it.
Yeah.
Everything is driven by what we want and what we're thinking. Or what we don't want, or what we're trying not to think about. Right, so here.
I was the one that was dressing and undressing him, washing him, taking him to the toilet after he'd soiled himself, helping to turn him so he didn't choke on his own vomit, holding him at night when he was hallucinating, terrified and calling out for Mum. Not you.
You see, those moments where you're not looking at the person is when you're with us, and then we lean in. It's curious, isn't it? You would think that what an audience would be interested in would be the intensity of the actor. Like, no. We're interested when they're alone, because when they're alone, they're with us.
Exactly. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Is the complicity, it happens when you are talking with the spectator, not to the other person.
Yeah.
Okay, so just shut up and don't take the cling film off those sausage rolls.
You have a little
Yes, the hotel
bit pity of yourself, you see, and that is something that we immediately understand, and it's not empathetic.
Do you know one of the most moving things to witness in anybody is stoicism, right? Is to be stoic.
The fight.
We are all at any given point in our life, we've all been stoic or experienced stoicism or watched it in other people. Stoicism is something which is incredibly, and in fact, I want to do some videos which is stoicism for actors, because there's a lot of things that we can learn from the Stoics. And it's something that we all consistently find moving. And the reason I think we find it moving is because we understand its evolutionary importance in terms of maintaining the order within a community.
Wow, I didn't have time to write this on.
You like that?
Yeah, nice.
Because it's one of those there's other.
How did you say it? Say it again.
Okay, you're really going to make me say it? We can go back and watch it afterwards.
Okay, no, but I'd like to see it.
Okay, well, it's mark 101 time code. That's just before then. Okay, so no, the Stoicism is something that in the history of humanity, before it even had a name, which resulted in order being maintained within smaller communities. Okay? Because otherwise, if people refuse to be stoic and do exactly what they want to do and take exactly what they want to take, then you have chaos. And chaos means human society is unsupportable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Insupportable. So, Stoicism is something which is wonderful to see. Whether it's in a cartoon character like Wall-E, he stoically is cleaning up the planet one cube of trash at a time. It's very stoic, and he has a secret dream which he wants to find love, and his best friend's a cockroach. Characters who are stoic, I mean, the most obvious ones are people like William Wallace or Maximus in Gladiator. Ripley in Aliens is stoic. It crosses gender, it crosses absolutely everything you could possibly imagine, and the idea of being stoic. And this is something that we always see, and we've experienced possibly with people near and dear to us when they're not well, or perhaps they're dying, is that what we subconsciously expect of them is stoicism. We expect that of them. We expect them to be to make their passing easier for us. It's sort of a requisite, because otherwise we stop liking them, which is a terrible thing to admit, but that's what happens.
So we don't like the people that they are victims of themselves. We don't like the people that you know that they are. So we have to make this text, analyze the text in a way that the most important thing is not to cry. The most important thing is, you know, is to make it real, to make it authentic. That this person really it happens to be in this situation. You know, because what you are saying is great, but you know what we need an adjustment. It's really an adjustment. Is you know, is this idea that when you cry you're good? No, when you cry, you're not good. You're just crying, and the people want that they see you that you're crying. Okay, she's crying. She understands.
And
the problem is that the spectator, what she has to do or what he has to do, the spectator what does is really has to investigate what's happening with you. The moment that she or he got it, it's too late for you to, you know, to do something else.
And the curious
and you know, to regurgitate again and again with this emotion, we feel that you are an actress but not a person.
See, I mean, the other thing is here. This is why I say you're a competent actress. Is that all this takes is a small adjustment.
Yeah, it's a small
It's a small adjustment, but the trouble is that we usually wait for directors to give us, or teachers to give us those small adjustments. No, don't. I need you to be slightly arrogant about what you're capable of. I need you to realize that you're the most interesting thing that's going on in the room.
Well, I don't know if you're here. We would love for you to be here, and if you are listening to this tape after that we talk to you, you know, make us a note or something. We'd like to hear from you, you know.
Love to.
Because that's what we do. We want also you to, you know, to respond to that, because I think it's a very important thing is you know, when the people talk about going to another level, that's the level. It's the level of a lead character in a movie.
Yeah, because there's no reason you can't, you know. It's odd. A lot of the things that happens to people in training is they lose confidence. I know I did. And I think part of acting training, one of its most important roles is to give the confidence back to the actor and make them believe in what they're doing. It's to let them stretch, let them develop their own swing in the way that they do things, and let them learn how to play the jazz of who they are. That's good. Do you like that? It's slightly pretentious, but it does the trick. Right, let's move on. Right, the whole bug thing. Right, this highlights. I don't really want to watch too much of it because I think we get the idea.
There will be a hive of activity.
Okay, so what we got going on here, and you get this for the other one as well. This is very much what I call the difference between acting and performance. Okay, you're performing a particular sort of type of character, heightened reality inside a TV thing or whatever it might be.
Yes, even you know, for the show is great because that's what it is. You know, it's a, you know, they start very big and then, you know, it's a reality, small reality. So it's we know that it's not the real life, so it's okay.
Yeah. The thing with it is that look, one of the things you find is there's a lot of younger actors who are just jumping straight into film and television, and they haven't passed through theatre. They don't have the performance chip, that performance gland. You obviously do, and that's why you can do the motion capture and all the rest of it.
You can do everything. I see. You know,
it's like me. I do voice.
Everything very well.
It's like I've done a lot of voiceovers for video games and cartoons and all the rest of it. And why do you get asked back to do it again? Is because you can walk in, they put the script in front of you, and you give them a final performance. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a talent in and of itself. It's a particular muscle that we develop, usually from an early age.
You arrive. Yes, wonderful. We look forward to seeing you then. Yes, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So one of the things... Okay,
are you checking in?
So...
Let me get the bellhop to get your bags. Oh, bellhop!
The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is you call for the bellhop this way and then you leave that way, but that's just me. This is fine. I don't think it's necessarily useful for showing your acting. But anyway, cold-blooded killer. This.
Yeah, but it's kind of at the end, you know, to say, okay, I did that for a TV show, and it's okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I concur.
But it's at the end, you know, it's something that is
like
not
the motion capture thing. You get some.
That is important, you know, the things that you can do you alone with a camera.
Yeah.
Begs for a life, and there's a split second to decide. To save her? Well, that's great. She can have her life back. You can give her back to her friends and family, the people who love her. But to kill her...
It's me or she blushes?
That's very different. Have her life back. You can give her back to her friends and family, the people who love her. But to kill her...
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, no?
That's very different. To remove her from this earth.
Right, now my question is, who are you talking to?
Yes, yes.
Why are you talking about that?
It's again la mirada fija, no?
Yeah, the fixed stare. One of the things I was like, oh, I wish you weren't talking about murder. You know what I mean? Because you start talking about murder, and now we're onto a different kind of, we're onto sort of a kind of genre acting. Because you're very good. I like the way you go there, and it's not got to do with you. It's got to do with the text more than anything else. Because it gets all a bit grand guignol.
Take away the one thing that most value above all else, her life. That's real power.
You know, it's a fixed stare all the time, and it's a pity. It's an adjustment. You know, by sharing thoughts with us. You know, you can do so much well. You know, and you got it. I know that you got it. It's just that nobody told you, and that you didn't observe. You know, have the time to observe what it makes an actor a star.
Relax your ass. Just
be there. To have presence.
Just be there.
To have presence is not going for, you know, a carrot at the end of the stick. To have presence.
One of the meanest things I say to actors sometimes when, and it wouldn't be the case for you, when something isn't really working. Like, for example, the previous showreel with the man at the bar, my direction to him would be, do it like a terrible actor. Right? And usually when I ask somebody to do something like a terrible actor, there's a very peculiar thing happens, because it usually improves. Because what they've had to do is they've been directed to make a choice on something. So if they can do a terrible actor, okay, then my next piece of direction is, okay, I want you to do it like the best actor ever. Just be amazing. Okay, you can't do anything wrong here. You know, and what happens is the pendulum very often will swing the other way. That we enter into do these things in a kind of a headspace of doubt, of not knowing whether we can actually pull it off. You know, that we actually are doubting us. Like, if we go into a room or we do something and we're doubting ourselves, why would we expect anybody else to have confidence in us if we don't have confidence in ourselves? Now, you could tell somebody, you must be more confident. No, that's nonsense. Just know that what you do is more than enough. And who you are, which is the other thing which is important, is more than enough. Sorry, sometimes.
No. It's because I had this idea of this next bit. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, this next bit, the problem that I have here, okay, is that to show me this, you have to have another one, which is, you are really beautiful. I don't know why, British people do that to themselves, but I suppose it's just because they're looking for the laugh.
What do we do to ourselves?
Well,
make ourselves look ridiculous?
Yeah.
I just have to tell you that Spanish people have a very heightened sense of looking ridiculous. The trouble with that is it stops them from doing a lot of things. And if you're giving a talk to a room of 1,000 people and you ask them for questions, nobody has a question. Nobody has a question until one will come up, and then they'll all come up. But nobody wants to be the first. That's why they had a dictatorship for 50 years.
But what I mean is that, to have this in your video reel, in your show reel, and being interesting is because you had shown the beautiful thing that you are, know.
That's in the photo. It's in the photograph.
In the photograph at the beginning, you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in a lot of places, I know you're much more beautiful. But I want to see you in action, beautiful, because if not, I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what this is an interesting thing here. We have eyebrows here.
Mm-hmm.
eyebrows here.
No, here there's no eyebrows.
No, I know, but we have. We it's interesting. We have. We have a big.
You have to decide how you want your eyebrows.
We got a big eyebrow
I think
deficit
there's
going
too
on.
much eyebrows in the other one too. So I think this one I wouldn't show it really. That is my perception. Okay.
But
Because
you need to go and pay somebody to get it done properly and do something which is good. What do you think about the sort of the music video here?
Well, again, I suppose it is something that is interesting. You're beautiful there. It's okay, but I mean, it's you're showing something that is not acting. So I think that
Yeah. Okay. So
it's not really acting.
and this thing with the Great British
it's
Bake Off here. How do we feel about that?
How do you feel about that?
Yes. Well, I haven't lived in the UK since the early 90s. The Great British Bake Off, I've never seen it, so you're satirizing something I don't know about. Sorry. The trick with satirizing something is you got to do it as well as you can. That's the sort of thing. That's what I would have to say. So I can't really, it's sort of crude, broad comedy. And
I think
it's
again,
not particularly
your sense
good.
of comedy.
It doesn't show me that you're really funny.
Yeah.
It shows me you're a person who can do funny things, but it doesn't show me comedy. But let me see it.
Is it?
Isn't it? Huh.
This is BST, so.
Now that's a funny line.
Him.
It's British Summertime or British Standard Time. That's actually a funny line. I laughed.
This is GMTV.
And I said, that's not...
Right. Okay. This is one of the things that you have to learn how to accept the attention of the camera and not feel compelled to perform. Okay? It's one of the things that Ricky Gervais really brought slamming into the world of acting in the year 2000 with The Office, was this idea that the camera would point and look at you, and then you'd look at the camera. Right? The audience expected inflection, reaction, something, but they didn't get it. And that's why it was funny or it bothered them. Because what you're doing is you're throwing it back to the person who's watching to decide what they think and feel about it. Mm-hmm. It's quite sophisticated, but that's the difference. So, for example, coming back here again to this moment here, right? So where you feel compelled to.
This is GMTV.
Right.
And I said, that's not an element.
Because you're performing and you're not acting. Okay, but that's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah,
right?
it's
and I love the guy on the right. He's very impressive. I love the suit.
That's my sister. Hi again. I'm here in the America's house with Alf the tapir and the alpacas. Alf, tell us, are you excited for the reopening?
Hey, what you got there is that food. I'm gonna taste it.
Right. Okay. Look, it's the first tapir I've ever seen in a showreel, and as far as that goes,
yes, it's surprising.
I will go. Give me that showreel with the girl with the tapir.
Yes.
Give me an actress who's done some tapir work.
They're gonna remember you for that. I don't know if that's what really. But anyway,
before you know it, she became known as Tapir Girl.
I want you to see you, doing.
I want to see you beautiful and gorgeous and sexy and
funny
and powerful
and you know that you can do all this because you're already,
and normal.
It's an adjustment.
Yeah, so go fix it. Go fix it because you know.
Come and fix it.
No, come fix it. It's like I saw today in the news in the weather application on the iPhone that it said I looked because I have the weather in London, just Schadenfreude.
Yes.
So I looked at it and I went. It was like warning, sort of possible, like delays and huge problems being caused by excess heat. 30 degrees.
That's great.
It was at least 37 to 38 degrees here today. It was it was hot.
That must change something.
Well, if you're a Scottish person like I am, unless you're covered up, it's gonna you can actually hear it burning. You're gonna sizzle and turn as red as a lobster in about 5 minutes flat. Anyway, that's been our show today. Remember, if you want to send us anything in the future, you can send it to me at scott@familiadecine.com. That's where you can send things by WeTransfer, whether they're ShowReels. We're also very interested in self-tapes because that's something that's happening more and more. We're also interested in photos because I think it's one of the things that you see on Facebook is that everybody's, what would you cast me as? And my question is, do you want everybody to say that you're pretty or these are great photos? And what difference does it make what their casting is? And the minute and this is the other thing, the minute I've noticed that you actually give a genuine, well thought out response, or you've tried to tell somebody to not use it, somebody else probably say, how dare you be so negative? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like if you're going to leave the house dressed like a clown, I'm going to tell you look like a clown. Anyway.
That's what you get from us.
That's what you get from us. Transparency. Because the most important thing for us is that we protect.
What?
There's a fly. That we protect 38 degrees. Is that we have always the best interest at heart of the actors who give us their material and let us review them. Because one of the things that we've discovered is there's some very bad advice out there, and there's a lot of people offering advice who don't necessarily have anything to back it up with in terms of what they've done in their particular careers. I want to say, if you're on YouTube, just remember to subscribe to our channel and give us a like, and check out the playlist in English, which you'll find all of the stuff that you'll be able to understand unless you speak Spanish. If you're on Facebook, give us a like and follow the channel. And if you're interested, that we have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/Assumpta Serna, which is her. Look us up, find out what we've done. You know that we actually have put our money where our mouths are in the past. Also, in the upper levels of that, we have coaching for self-tapes, ShowReels, in English and other languages as well. We do all that sort of thing. And
thank you very much for today, Thursday.
Thanks.
Martel, thank you for the last goal we had.
Yes. Martel.
Martel was the first one.
Yeah, Martel, like the cognac, I suppose.
Oh, like the cognac. And the second one?
What? Oh my goodness! What? Now you're challenging me.
Martel, thank you.
Holly Marie.
And Holly Marie Michael. Holly Marie Michael. Holly? Wait, why Holly?
Holly.
Why Holly?
What do you mean, why Holly?
Oh, Holly, like is a name.
Holly, yeah. Holly. It's like it's a Christmas.
Holly.
The holly and the ivy. It's the spiky thing with the red berries. They don't have it in Spain. It's too hot. It would die instantaneously. You're just like cinders.
Holly,
that's what
Holly.
Not holy. Holly.
Holly.
Holly. Like Hollywood.
Which means
a wood with holly in it.
And what is a holly?
Holly is a spiky green evergreen plant with bright red berries.
Ah, yes.
What's it called in Spanish?
Yeah, there is a name.
Anybody knows what it's called in Spanish? All right, there we go. Hello, Ramon Vidal. Pues welcome. Hello, how are you? Crystal says, I want the cold hard truth. And awesome advice once again. Thanks for look. You're going to have to watch the rerun. Viviana, it's delightful saying, oh yeah, it's great to see you there. Fantastic.
Well, thank you very much for being there. And next Thursday, don't forget, we're going to be also there.
Yeah, in English. Remember that you can send it to me here, your material. Scott at familiadecine.com.
Familia de Cine, we say.
Yeah, and these are all our people who are with us on Patreon and the Familia. It's great, no?
117 people.
120? No, it's 120. 120.
No? Oh, yeah, already.
120. So anyway, thank you very much for being with us, for flying the Scott and Assumpta Airways. And we'll be here next Thursday in English. Tomorrow we're interviewing Oscar Barney Finn who
a
is
great director
who's a-
from Argentina.
who's a director you made a movie with called,
Yes,
Stolen Moments,
Stolen Moments.
back in
1992,
no,
96?
40,
Yes.
40, 45, 96.
96, okay.
96, 97.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but in that film, you play somebody who's obsessed with Betty. Was it Betty Grable, Betty Davis, Ava Gardner, and she dresses up and makes herself up to look like them.
Mm.
It's fabulous. Anyway, thank you very much, and what can I say? Onwards
And forwards.
and upwards.
And upwards.
Buongiorno.
Sorry. Más y mejor, we say. in
Sí, it's mañana más y mejor. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. And if not, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. All right, this is a very quick after show. So, Assumpta, what's going on right now? We're organizing a big course for the end of August that we're doing in.
By the way, if someone wants to come, that
if one of
is
you
also
crazy people want to come to our course,
Yes.
there's no acting places, but there's certainly places where you get to you come to see what the heck we're up to. That will be in the northwest of Spain, in a place called Ciudad Rodrigo.
Wonderful. It's going to be in the end of the month,
It'll be in the end of the month.
the 25th to the 29th.
Yeah.
And we still have 2 or 3 seats available.
Yeah, I'm already exhausted thinking about it.
Yes.
I
Well, we're
swear
going
to
to
God.
shoot scenes. We're going to rehearse scenes. We're gonna show a little bit. The
You know, all this advice that we give to people when we watch their stuff, we do that. We do that before they do it.
And also we do, the basics that we cannot do through Zoom, which is, to get to know the camera, to get to know how to actually work on camera. So that's
Look,
what we've been
Agueda
doing.
has supplied us wholly acebo.
Oh, it's called acebo. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, great.
Acebo. There you go.
Catalonia has another name. That's
So
why.
all I can say is,
The more you know.
yeah, exactly. The more you know. So thank you very much, everybody. Remember,
Have a nice weekend.
stay safe.
Nice start of the
Take care of
next
people.
week.
If you're feeling a little bit depressed, help somebody else. That's one of the big tricks.
And we're going to go on Saturday and Sunday.
So we'll be going to Extremadura, to the Roman amphitheater there in Mérida.
In Mérida, which is very nice. Mérida Augusta in times of the Romans.
Yeah,
And,
it's been there for 2,000 years.
Or more, because it was 6th before Christ.
6 centuries before Christ. It predates Jeezy
Yes.
Creasy by 6
I think
centuries.
so, yes.
Okay, so and that's something that we're trying to put on next year.
And it was actually, yeah, it's like what's happening?
I don't know. I showered today. I don't know about you.
I did.
Just saying.
much earlier. Thank you very much.
Well, perhaps you have to renew that. Perhaps you have to, take that for clean the pipes again, as it were.
I'm completely clean. Want to smell it? Smell it.
No, it's fine. No. I'll trust my friends in the animal kingdom to advise me. That's what I need.
Bring us a tapir.
Yeah, that's what I would like. Bring me a tapir.
A tapir.
Yeah, that's where.
Did you just got?
I did nothing at all. I'm completely innocent of all of the things you may be suggesting. I have no idea where you come up with these things. Look, anyway, it's fabulous. Everybody,
you.
drink plenty of water. Stay in the shade, for
Yes.
goodness sake. Take it easy.
Yes, good
And
idea.
thanks for turning up today. I know that there's parks in the,
That is from Merton College.
Shh, you stole that.
Oh, that's true.
Let me show you some of the towels we got from one of Paris's finer hotels. There we go. That's exactly it. Anyway, it's lovely. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Remember, everything is out there. You can see in our playlist. Today has been episode number 291.
Wow. 9 for 300.
We're very close to 300.
That's nice.
Okay, you realize in 300 we have to be stripped to the waist and fighting the Persians, right? She has no idea what I'm talking about.
Yes, the 300, the battle of, how you call it? The 300.
It's Theonopolis or something like that. Personal. I know there's an opolis in it somewhere. There's definitely the opolis.
It's,
Oh God, I can't remember. It's one of those things. It's the sort of thing that you would get in a quiz show.
300 of, da-da-da.
Well, they were Spartans.
Yeah, but it was the...
So anyway, we'll have to do a Spartan-themed episode.
Yes.
Yeah, where we're just kicking people into wells all day. Right, anyway.
Spartanism.
Yeah, it's a Spartan stoicism. This is Sparta. Because as you know, the Spartans, Leonidas had a Scottish accent.
Leonidas?
Totally. Leonidas was definitely Scottish.
Really?
He is in the movie. Huh? He's played by Gerard Butler.
Okay.
Right.
Leonidas for us.
Leonidas.
Okay.
It
all sounds very different.
It sounds very, very different. Right. Anyway, we've got to go because we need to eat and do other bits and pieces. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
You are all a delight.